Good morning, children. So we will be doing this summary. This is the second session for English for class 11. We'll be doing this summary of which lesson? Yes, Mother's Day. So let's begin the summary of Mother's Day. The play begins with two friends having a candid conversation at Mrs. Pearson's house. Two friends are having a conversation in whose house? Mrs. Pearson's house. Mrs. Fitzgerald is telling Mrs. Pearson's fortune. You know what is the meaning of telling fortune? This is going to happen, that is going to happen. We go to fortune tellers. What do? They predict things. What is going to happen in future, what is happening right now. Yes, they tell us about the present, past, future and all that. That is what fortune tellers do. So Mrs. Fitzgerald is doing similar thing. She's telling Mrs. Pearson's fortune and advises her on it, and she gives her suggestions what she should do, what she should not do. Mrs. Pearson goes about telling how her family members don't value her and don't appreciate whatever she does for them. So since Mrs. Fitzgerald is Mrs. Pearson's friend, she tells everything to her, all about her family members' behavior towards her. Okay, now she's available for them 24/7. That is what she tells. See, I am at their service 24/7. Who's saying that? Mrs. Pearson is saying that. Okay. And all they do is come in, throw orders. What is the meaning of throw orders? Do this, do that. I want this right now. I want that right now. That is ordering. Okay. They order their mother, throw orders around at her and leave. They just like you go to a restaurant. What do? You place the order. I want these things. That's all. And then after that, your job is over. And then the waiter brings the food. It's similar to that. And they leave without even saying thank you. They are not thankful. They are not grateful for all the work that their mother does. And that to imagine 24/7 she does. Mrs. Fitzgerald tells her to take a stand as the woman of the house. But Mrs. Pearson, being the sweet and innocent lady, she's a sweet, innocent lady, you know, she's never harsh, doesn't want to bring her family any sort of discomfort. She feels that if she says no to anything, that would bring discomfort to her family, you know. So she thinks that no, it is not correct on her part. So she continues to handle their tantrums because she doesn't know where to begin when it comes to making them disciplined. To handle their tantrums, you know, this is tantrum. Do this right now. I want this. Iron my clothes. I want tea. I want coffee. This is nothing but tantrums, you know. Mrs. Fitzgerald proposes a plan to switch their bodies so that Mrs. Fitzgerald, you know, she takes her place without her family knowing. So Mrs. Pearson is hesitant at first. First, she thinks, she's wondering whether I should do or I should not do. So she's hesitant at first, but then Mrs. Fitzgerald, her friend, convinces her for it. She says, no, you must do this. Mrs. Fitzgerald performs her magic. See, now she performs some magic that she had learned from the East, and their personalities are changed. What happens? Exchange of personalities take place now. Means what? Mrs. Fitzgerald becomes Mrs. Pearson and Mrs. Pearson becomes Mrs. Fitzgerald. So exchange of personalities are changed now. Now Mrs. Fitzgerald is actually Mrs. Pearson's body and vice versa. Now new Mrs. Pearson tells Mrs. Fitzgerald to go to her house for the time being. She tells her, for the time being, you go to my house. Okay. Yeah, she tells her, for the time being, you go. At this moment in the play, that is what happens. Doris Pearson, daughter of Mrs. Pearson, enters the scene asking for tea. So then what happens? Who comes? Doris Pearson comes, and then she says, I want tea. She's ordering her mother for what? For tea. And ordering Mrs. Pearson to iron her yellow silk. She orders her mother to iron her yellow silk dress. Just imagine. She gets shocked at the sight of her mother smoking, and from there, perhaps she's seeing her for the first time smoking. The argument begins where Mrs. Pearson insults. She starts insulting. Actually, she's who? She's Mrs. Fitzgerald. Do you remember that? Yes. So the argument begins where Mrs. Pearson insults Charlie Spence, the guy she's about to go out with. So Doris is about to go out with a guy called Charlie Spence. Doris leaves crying, and Cyril, her brother, enters asking for tea. See, she starts crying, she leaves. Now Cyril comes. He also asks for tea now. Cyril is Doris's brother. Doris leaves crying. Cyril comes, orders for some tea, okay, and something to eat. He too is amazed at having come home to see that there is nothing to eat and nothing to drink. He's shocked. He says there's nothing to eat and nothing to drink. Perhaps this is happening for the first time. So children, what do you understand after reading this? After going through this? Yes. See, hers was a home. I'm talking about Mrs. Pearson's home. Mrs. Pearson's family. See what kind of family members were there in her home. See, children, how did they treat the lady, the mother of the house? See, they just come from outside, they start ordering. I want this, I want that, do this for me, do that for me, and they leave that place. See, even we do not treat our servants like that. Yes, if we speak in this manner with our servants, first of all, they'll be very angry, they'll start shouting at us, and they'll leave the work immediately and they will go. So see, she's been ill treated. What we say, the word is ill treated. That is not the way to treat our mothers. Yes, we must be very kind to our mother. If at all we want something, we should request, Mummy, please may I have some tea, please may I have some snacks, and leave that all this aside. It is our duty to help our mothers in all the household chores. Whenever we are free, we can help our mother, yes, and that will make her really happy, It is actually the duty of the children of the house, including the husband, to cooperate, to help the woman of the house. That will really make the woman of the house very, very happy. And we must express our gratitude for every little thing or big thing that the mother does for us. We must always say, thank you, mother. You are doing so much for me. Thank you for all that you are doing to me. Thank you for the tea that you have served. Thank you for the delicious snacks that you have served. We must keep expressing our thanks, and we must give her some time to relax. After all, she's a human being. She too needs time for relaxing. She too needs time for some sort of recreation. She needs to watch movies, to chit chat with her friends, to go out for shopping and all that. No, if we have this kind of behavior as we see in the lesson, surely the mother of the house would be the unhappiest person. Don't you think so? That is what I feel. So, we must be very kind to our mother. We must love our mother. We must cooperate. We must try to help her in all her household chores as much as we can. We must help her. Yes, then only the mother of the house will be, the woman of the house will be mother. After all, we call her mother. She's our mother. So we must be very loving towards our mother. We must help her, always help her in everything that she does, whether it is washing clothes. So children, My message for you is, what do you know? My message for you is that you must be very kind to your mother. Love her. Give her all the love and affection. Maximum love and affection. Read this chapter. Very interesting. Thank you.